In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts in this section with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers in the recording. There will be time for you to read the instructions, and you will have a chance to check your work. The recording will be played once only. At the end of the test, you will be given 7 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now, turn to Part 1. Part 1. Directions. In this part, you will hear 8 short announcements or instructions. There is 1 question for each announcement or instruction. For each question, choose the right answer, A, B, C, or D. Then on the answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer that you have chosen. We are ready to start. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 8. Now, listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 8. Question 1.
I hope you've all enjoyed tonight's dinner. It is now time to welcome this evening's guest speaker, Carol Draper. Ms. Draper is the Editor-in-Chief of Investors Weekly magazine. She took over the position of editor just over 2 years ago, and in that short time, the magazine has become one of the most influential publications in finance. Ms. Draper is also a well-respected, best-selling author in the field of investment. She will speak tonight on long-term trends in interest rates, a subject she's dealt with at length in her latest book, Money Moves. Ms. Draper has also agreed to take questions from the floor after her talk. Let's have a big hand for Carol Draper.
Question 2.
You have reached the airport ticket counter of Eagle Rent-A-Car. Thank you for calling. We regret to inform you that we are currently closed. Operating hours at this location are from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekends. If you need rate information or would like to make a rental reservation at this time, please call our nationwide toll-free number, which is available 24 hours a day, or visit us on the web at www.eaglerents.com. We look forward to serving you.
Question 3.
Troy County Library patrons, may I have your attention, please? This is a public safety announcement. Due to an emergency maintenance situation, the children's section on the ground floor is being closed at this time. This section of the library has suffered a burst pipe. If you have children there, please escort them from the area. All other sections of the library will remain open today until our normal closing time of 9 p.m. Inasmuch as we cannot predict the maintenance situation tomorrow, those planning to bring children to the library are advised to call before coming in. We apologize for the inconvenience and hope to have things back to normal as soon as possible.
Question 4.
Attention Flowmart customers. If you want a great deal on batteries, just follow the flashing yellow light to our electronics department. Right now, as long as the yellow light is flashing, you can get 25 to 40% off name brand batteries in all sizes. Need batteries for your smoke detector, flashlight, or children's toys? How about the TV remote control? Get to the electronics department and pick them up at great savings. Hurry now and get those batteries you keep meaning to buy, or buy some to keep in stock. Remember, the discount is only good while the Flowmart yellow light is flashing. After that, it's back to our normal everyday low prices. You don't want to be the only one in town paying full price.
Question 5.
You're listening to Newton Radio. Well, now it's 15 past the hour and time once again to move to the Climate Network's hourly nationwide weather update. Our top story today: there is still a tornado warning in effect in the south, where twisters earlier today killed 4 people and left dozens injured. The tornadoes destroyed dozens of buildings and have left hundreds homeless. Emergency workers are in the area tending to the injured and trying to find shelter for them before nightfall. Bad weather remains elsewhere in the country, also as heavy rain continues to soak the western mountains. Some of our affiliated stations there are reporting up to 5 inches in the last 12 hours. Needless to say, many roads and highways are closed throughout the region.
Question 6.
Attention all employees. There is a blue pickup truck in back of the plant that is blocking loading ramp number 6. Would the owner of this vehicle, license plate number CA990, kindly remove it? It must be moved immediately as it is blocking deliveries. Once again, a blue pickup truck with the license plate CA990 is blocking a loading ramp, and it must be moved right away. If the vehicle is not moved in the next 10 minutes, it will be towed away at the owner's expense. We ask you to please note that parking is available across the street in the Pay and Display parking lot. We urge you to use this parking lot during the plant's operational hours for all vehicles not involved in deliveries.
Question 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you aboard the Capital Express, the only non-stop service to Washington. If this is your first trip on the Express, You are about to experience rail service like no other in the country. The Capital Express is the fastest passenger train operating in North America, reaching speeds of up to 105 miles per hour. For our international passengers, that's 175 kilometers per hour. Today's trip to Washington will take just over 3 hours, compared to the nearly 6 hours that it takes on a conventional train. To make your journey even more pleasant, we will be offering a refreshment service as soon as the train departs. Choose from a selection of teas and coffees, cold drinks, and tasty snacks. Enjoy your ride.
Question 8.
Larry, it's Mom. I forgot to tell you this morning, but I have something going on after work today and won't be home until 8, so I won't be able to get dinner ready for you tonight. Go ahead and fix yourself some dinner whenever you're hungry. There's a pizza in the freezer, so you can help yourself to that if you want it. Have a salad or some other vegetables with it, though, okay? And you can have some ice cream too if you'd like, but don't take too much. Oh, and I don't mind if you watch TV, but don't invite anyone over, and be sure to get your homework done before I get home. I don't want you staying up late because you didn't do it earlier.
This is the end of part 1. Now turn to part 2. Part 2. Questions 9 to 20. In this part, you will hear 3 conversations. The conversations will not be repeated. There are 4 questions for each conversation. For each question, choose the right answer. A, B, C, or D. We are ready to start. First, you have some time to look at questions 9 to 12. Questions 9 to 12. First, you have some time to look at questions 9 to 12.
How do you come to the university each day? Train or bus, or do you have a car?
Oh, I always walk. I haven't got a car, and anyway, I live quite close.
Do you know anything about parking rights on the campus? I was wondering whether students are allowed to park their cars on campus or not.
Yes. I think it's possible for postgraduate students, but not for undergraduate students.
That doesn't seem very fair.
No, I suppose not. But there simply isn't enough room on the campus for everyone to park.
Do you need a parking permit?
Yeah, I believe you do.
Where do I get that from?
I think you can get a parking sticker from the administration office.
Where's that?
It's in the building called Block G, right next to Block E.
Block G?
Yeah.
Oh, right. And what happens to you if you don't buy a sticker? Do they clamp your wheels or give you a fine?
No, I think they tow your car away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then they fine you as well, because you have to pay to get the car back.
I better get the sticker then.
Yeah.
Where exactly is the administration office again? I'm new to this university and I'm still trying to find my way around.
Right. You go along Library Road, past the tennis courts on your left and the swimming pool on your right.
Yeah.
And the administration office is opposite the car park on the left. You can't miss it.
So it's up Library Road, past the swimming pool, opposite the car park. Right, I'll go straight over there. Bye, and thanks for the help.
Questions 13 to 16. First, you have some time to look at questions 13 to 16.
Excuse me, can you help me? I was looking for the main hall.
No, maybe I can, actually. I'm looking for the main hall, too. I think it's in the administration building. Are you a new student?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I thought you looked as lost as me. I'm trying to find the admin building, too, so that I can register for my course. But I don't seem to be having much luck.
Well, look, according to this map of the campus here, you go straight up the steps, turn left, and the building's on the right. Okay, let's see if we can find it.
Ah, this looks right. Yeah, it must be. Look, there are hundreds of other people here.
There must be at least 50 people in the queue. We'll be here till gone 2 o'clock at this rate.
Yeah, and I'm starving.
So am I.
Actually, I was on my way to the canteen to get something for lunch. Why don't I go to the canteen and buy something, and you stay here and wait?
Good idea.
What would you like? Pizza, sandwich, hot dog, fried rice? They do everything.
Oh, something easy. Takeaway fried rice sounds good.
Okay, fried rice.
No, on second thoughts, I'll have a cheese and tomato sandwich.
Right, 1 cheese and tomato. Anything to drink?
Yeah, give me coffee, would you?
Hot coffee's a bit hard to carry. What about a Coke or an orange juice?
Get me an orange juice then. Look, here's $5.
Oh, yeah, take $2 back. Shouldn't cost me more than $3.
Well, keep the 5, we'll sort it out later. Oh, and could you get me an apple as well?
Okay, back in a minute.
Questions 17 to 20. First, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20.
Oh, hello. I'd like to join the video library.
Okay, would you like to fill in the application form now?
Yes, I can do it now.
Hold on and I'll get a form. Now, I'll just ask you a few questions, and then I'll get you to sign at the bottom.
Right.
What's your full name?
Louise Cynthia Jones.
Jones.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And what's your address?
Apartment 1, 72 Black Street, Highbridge.
Black Street. That's just round the corner, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so the postcode is 2085, right?
Yes, 2085.
And your telephone number. I need both home and work.
Home is 9835-6712, and work is 9456-1309. Do you need any ID or anything like that?
Yes, we need your driver's license number. That is, if you have one.
Yes, I know it off by heart. It's an easy one. 2020BD. Do you need to see it?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
Here.
Right, thanks. And could you tell me your date of birth, please?
25 July, 1977.
That's the most important part out of the way, but could I just ask you a few questions for a survey we're conducting?
Okay.
What kind of videos do you prefer to watch? Have a look at this list.
Well, I love anything that makes me laugh. I just love to hear jokes and funny punchlines. I'm not very keen on westerns, although my father likes them. But I'm a real softie, so anything with a bit of a love story is good for me. It doesn't matter how old. Not musicals, though. They're too much.
This is the end of Part 2. Now turn to Part 3. Part 3. Questions 21 to 35. In this part, you will hear 3 talks or lectures. The talks or lectures will not be repeated. There are 5 questions for each talk or lecture. For each question, choose the right answer. A, B, C, or D. Questions 21 to 25. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to our regular lecture on health issues. This series of lectures is organised by the Students' Union and is part of the Union's attempt to help you, the students of this university, to stay healthy while coping with study and social life at the same time. So, it's a great pleasure for me to welcome back Ms. Diane Greenbaum, who is a professional dietitian and who has been kind enough to give up her time in what I know is a very hectic schedule to come along and talk to us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. May I say it's a pleasure to be back. Now, stresses at university, being away from home and having to look after yourselves, learning your way around the campus, all contribute to making it quite hard sometimes to ensure that your diet is adequate. So, today, I'm going to talk about ways of making sure that you eat well, while at the same time staying within your budget. If you have a well-balanced diet, then you should be getting all the vitamins that you need for normal daily living. However, sometimes we think we're eating the right foods, but the vitamins are escaping, perhaps as a result of cooking, and anyway, we're not getting the full benefit of them. Now, if you lack vitamins in any way, the solution isn't to rush off and take vitamin pills, though they can sometimes help. No, it's far better to look at your diet and how you prepare your food. So, what are vitamins? Well, the dictionary tells us they are food factors essential in small quantities to maintain life. Now, there are fat-soluble vitamins, which can be stored for quite some time by the body, and there are water-soluble vitamins, which are removed more rapidly from the body. And so a regular daily intake of these ones is needed.
Questions 26 to 30. First, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30.
If your lecturers are unavailable, you can always come and see me in my office. I'm available on Wednesday and Thursday mornings and on Friday afternoons. Outside these hours, perhaps you could ring the secretary and make an appointment. Now, you'll note that all of the subjects which you undertake in the first year are composed of lectures and tutorials. A lecture is about an hour long, and a tutorial usually runs for about 2 hours. A lecture is rather like what I'm doing now, where one person will talk to all of you together on a subject. Now, we do ask you to try to attend the lectures. A tutorial is perhaps where most of the learning occurs at a university. You will be divided into groups of between 12 and 15 students, and each week one of you will have to present a piece of work to the group as a whole, and then the group will discuss what you've said. It's this discussion, this exchange of ideas, which really constitutes the basis of university learning, in my view. Listening to lectures in many ways is just giving you information that you could access for yourself in the library. But the discussion at the tutorial is very important. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't go to the lectures, though. Other factors to be particularly concerned about are the structure of essays and delivery of written material. And in particular, I would like to mention the question of plagiarism. Plagiarism is taking other people's work without acknowledging it. That is, without saying where it comes from. Now, of course, all essays are based on research done by other people, but you must remember to attribute the work to the original writer. And while it's a good idea to work with other people, don't hand in work which is exactly the same as your friend's work, because we will notice. If you don't acknowledge the source of your information, then you run the risk of failing the subject, or in very serious cases, you might be denied entry to the university. Last but not least, stay in touch with us. If things are getting you down, Don't go and hide. Come and talk to us about it. That's what we're here for. Right. Thank you very much for coming along today.
Questions 31 to 35. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 35.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maritime Museum. Now, before we commence our tour, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about the history of the museum. As you can see, it's a very modern building, built in the postmodern style, and it was in fact opened by the Prime Minister of Australia in November 1991. It's been designed with a nautical flavour in mind, to remind us of our links with the sea. But the museum isn't only housed in this building. There are a number of historic ships docked outside in the harbour which form part of the museum, and which you are also free to visit. And we'll be coming to them shortly. I'd just like to point out one or two things of general interest while we're here. Handicapped toilets are located on this floor, and the door shows a wheelchair. The cloakroom, where you can hang your coat or leave your bags, is just behind us here. The education centre is on the top floor, and there's a good little library in there which you might like to use. Follow the signs to the education centre. You'll see a lot of little green arrows on the wall. The green arrows will take you there. The information desk, marked with the small letter I on your plan, is located right here in the foyer. So if you get separated from your friends, I suggest you make your way back to the information desk, because we'll be returning to this spot at the end of the tour. All right? Now, if you look out this window, you should be able to see where the museum's ships are docked. If you want to go on a tour of the old ship, the Vampire, she's docked over there, and you should meet outside on the quay. However, a word of warning, I don't recommend it for the grandmas and grandpas, because there are lots of stairs to climb. Right now, let's move on. Oh, I almost forgot to give you the times for that tour. Now, tours of the Vampire run on the hour, every hour, all right?
This is the end of the listening paper. Now you have 7 minutes to transfer your answers to your answer sheet. Be sure to follow the numbering of all